My name's Andrew Katz. I'm the Senior Vice President of Business Strategy and Growth with FirstChoice MarshBerry Company. And today I'm with Matthew Fastow from Coverflow. Good afternoon, Matthew.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Can you tell the audience a little bit about what Coverflow does and supports independent agents?
Yeah, absolutely. So Coverflow is an AI tool that's built specifically for insurance agencies. And our high-level mission is basically to help agents automate away as many of the tasks that draw them away from interacting with clients. And so things like entering data into your AMS, comparing policies that have just been renewed, creating sales materials and presentations, all of that we want to take off of agents' hands so they can do what they do best, which is talk to clients and sell insurance.
That's great. So let's go along that theme. So how does the FirstChoice approach to building partnerships with companies like Coverflow help support you and facilitate your growth as a growing entity?
Yeah, it's a great question. And the short answer is there's lots of ways. What jumps out to me initially, though, is really just brand recognition, because I think right now we're at one of the all-time highs in terms of rate of firms being founded, specifically tech firms that are trying to sell to all verticals. And standing out from like that mass or that sea of logos and brands and new products is really difficult. And so for us, so far, FirstChoice has been incredible in at least elevating Coverflow above that sea of other AI companies that all kind of claim to do everything, and just helping get agencies to try us out.
So can you tell me how working with us has fostered possibly your operational, financial, or advisory services as you're trying to scale and grow your business?
Yeah, definitely. Well, from an operational and an advisory standpoint, I mean, just talking with people like yourself, people like Keith, they've been around the block when it comes to Insurtechs, and they've seen plenty that have, launched and successfully scaled and been acquired or IPO'd, and they've seen plenty that have done the opposite. And at least from an advisory standpoint, knowing how to scale cleanly and confidently has been really, really useful. And then financially, I mean, we're here at the InMotion conference. Just helping us source more agencies to partner with is also a massive part of the partnership for us. And so I think a couple days after we had launched with you all publicly, we'd already had at least a dozen new demos for Coverflow booked, and that's just continued throughout the partnership.
In your view, what do having strategic partnerships with networks like FirstChoice mean for helping you scale your business? Why are they so important to you?
I think the simple answer is trust. I think in an industry or just in economic landscape where there's so much pay-for-play action, like SEO is easy to do if you pump enough money into it, and you can buy enough ads if you pump enough money into it, but that doesn't tell you much about how trustworthy the company is. And insurance is one of the most trust-based industries for good reason. And so I think having a network like FirstChoice has helped us establish that trust, both with existing clients, potential new clients, and even investors. I've had investors come up to us since we partnered with you all and congratulate us and say that's a big deal. And I think being part of a network that's not just purely a pay for play and is much more of a restrained, like, let's check out the company and make sure that they're a company that we're comfortable partnering with before moving forward has been really big for us in establishing trust throughout the industry.
That's awesome. When we take that partnership very seriously, whether it's with the membership or clients or with strategic partners like Coverflow. So why don't you share with us, because this is as much about how you support our organization and our members, what would be the profile that is a successful relationship for one of our members' clients working with you at Coverflow?
It's a great question. So we have agencies of all sizes using Coverflow to start out. We have, 3-person agencies, and we have national brands with over 200 offices. So there's no one size, that we're zeroing in on. I'd say it's really any agency that's P&C heavy that just feels like they're doing more in-house than they'd like to be doing. And what I mean by that is, there's certain things in insurance that historically you've just never been able to automate away. When you have a complicated commercial lines client, for example, and you get in that renewal document and it's 400 pages long. That's not something until very, very recently that anybody's been able to automate. And what we're working to introduce to the insurance agency industry is a way to offload just that massive manual work that almost all agencies have done in-house forever to us. So I'd say any P&C heavy retail agency is a great agency for us to partner with.
So go a little deeper. Tell us a little bit more. That example you just gave,
Yeah.
like 400 pages, like what exactly would Coverflow do to help with effectiveness and efficiency?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a real example that a client discussed with me just last week when we were checking in. And they had a 400-page commercial renewal come in, and their job is to compare those 400 pages to the 400 pages of the expiring document and to not miss a single thing or make a single mistake. And that's almost impossible for any human to do, or at least to do in a short amount of time. And what people use Coverflow for today is just have the AI take a look at both documents and flag as much as possible to you. And so maybe there was an exclusion buried on page 273 of the renewal that was added. That, of course, who wouldn't miss something like that across 400 pages? We flag that to producers and account managers and help agencies reduce their E&O risk without having to spend copious amounts of time just reading PDFs.
That's fantastic. So I want to thank you for your time today. I really appreciate the partnership with Coverflow. Thank you.